Welcome to your Bad Feelings-a-thon with Cab Toyota.
Wow. Wow.
It's Cab Toyota-thon, isn't it? So,
It is kept away at home.
damn it. Hey, we're back. We took November off. No, took October off. I don't know what. I thought today was Tuesday all day until someone came in and they're like, hey, you want to do this thing today? And I was like, what thing? And they're like, this thing you do on Mondays? And I was like, what? It's Tuesday. No, it's not Tuesday. Shit. So I don't know what day it is. Probably don't know what month it is. But we took October off for extra life prepping. We're back, better than ever. Let's go on the table and show who's here. Yeah.
Hi. I forget that Ben goes this way, so I'm first. I'm Beard. I play Duolingo, Jedi Consular. When last we saw Duo, he was getting sized up by Rakatan, who wanted to make Jedi Force sensitive baby clones, or maybe eat them. We drank some stuff. I don't know, man. I listened to the ending of the last episode and I felt like I kind of knew, but that was like a very intense conversation. So I'm really not sure what her expectations are, except for the fact that she wants to restart the Rakatan Empire and she sees me as part of that. Yeah. Hey, Nate.
Hey, I am Nate. I'm playing Breeb Wumbu. I'm a Celestin Guardian and I'm just fine. I'm not in trouble. But I do have a bad feeling about this.
I'm Warrior. I play Nando Balmain. He's a dude in space. He's been holding down the fort, literally, for a while now. Like over half of this time, he's just been like guarding the fort. Last time, I was reading through my notes, and what I wrote down for the last thing Nando did was Nando tells Breeb that him and his boss and his weirdo cult member need to stop being so fucking weird. Which really,
that
honestly,
actually is word for word what happened.
That
Checks out.
sounds about right.
You didn't get the last part where I was like, and then you hear something coming through the gates, and you're like, we closed those gates. And I was like, I don't remember you saying you closed those gates. There's a good like 20, 30 seconds of you being very irritated with me.
They were super closed. I
Shaggy Bombers!
totally closed those gates.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing we do, it's close the gates.
Close the gates.
So
maybe it's like that thing where you've been in like a newer car for a long time, and then you get into an older car and you have to like roll down the window or something, and you're like, this seems wrong but familiar.
Or every time you've ever had to use a phone with a dial on it.
Oh, like a dial, like a rotary phone.
Yeah.
I would love to use a rotary. I haven't seen a rotary phone in so long.
I haven't seen one since we were at my grandmother's funeral, because she had rotary phones in her house.
Oh, in her house. I was like, the weird funeral.
She was buried with her rotary phone.
She worked for Ma Bell for like 70 years.
No. She's like, I don't give a shit about anything else, but you will bury me with my rotary phone.
Yes, I'm saying, right?
They say you can't take it with you except for broken phones.
So for me, I'm taking this phone with me. All right. So we're Sans Ericor, aka Colin, tonight. But he was injured pretty badly, so he will just simply be out of commission for the episode. Yeah, meaning, if things go badly, they could go real badly for him. If things don't, well, we'll go from there. So you hear the auto turrets start to fire, and you realize you have not shut the gates, your makeshift gates.
Nando, did you shut the gates?
I'm
not on gates.
Definitely shut the gates. Breeb, I
From the floor down.
closed them so hard.
Shut the fucking gates!
Closed them so fucking hard, dude. Like I.
Nub looks at you and goes, "Hey, I've got a hurt leg. I can't go shut the gate. If you don't recall, I had a spear in my leg, and then you give me serious drugs. But
That's
so
true.
going up and down the stairs is probably not good for this gaping wound in my leg.
It's not good. It's not good for your gait, buddy. Do you need more drugs?
Probably when we are under duress and I'm about to be stabbed to death by a crazy person." And then he points to a very staticky shot up down the road and from a drone. And you see 3 carts being pulled by people. And you see many other of these all of them are on foot, though. No more riders, just straight foot soldiers. But there's a lot of them.
Can I go shut the gates?
Yeah, you'll need some help. It's like your gate was just makeshift stuff.
Okay, I give Nub some drugs and then I go close.
Don't need them yet, but we may need them later. Felicia's already down there just stacking shit up.
Dander runs out of the building and goes to help, which is a lot for him.
As soon as you guys start doing stuff, she starts getting into the pod and pulling stuff out. Just like a basic equipment that had been in there. And she looks at Nando and she says, How long did Nub say the systems are going to be up?
He didn't, and he's on a lot of drugs right now. So
she runs inside, and you can hear her yelling at him and him yelling back, and then she comes back out. 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours of juice.
4 hours of juice. Seems like a good amount of juice.
Sufficient.
She goes up one of the ladders on the thing and hooks up an additional, looks like just a power source to one of the turrets. She says, about another hour there, but it's just this turret.
5 hours of juice. Nando will start closing the gate. I'm not an electrician.
So all 3 of you are finally kind of barricade the gate back up. And you start, you guys are going back inside up to the command center? What's going on?
Now, are these turrets we can control, or they're just auto?
They're like auto turrets.
Okay.
So, Breeb, you've done this kind of siege bullshit before, right? Like you've been in a lot of danger.
I'm a. Oh, not me. Oh, I'm a little. Sorry about that. I took half a pill. He did find this though, and he kicks it across a crate.
That
dragon?
Well, he didn't really kick it. He just kind of butt shoved it over.
Yeah. What is it? What's in it?
Oh, it's full of slug throwers.
Oh.
Felicia's already pulling out, and she's like, "Yeah, half of these are usable."
Okay, well, there's 3 of us. So.
She throws you a rifle with a scope on it.
Oh.
Well, then.
Oh. Who was just yelling at me for not being able to aim yesterday?
Yeah. Make yourself useful and get on top of the tower.
I'm going. I'm sniping.
What else is in that crate?
It's all just slug throwers and ammunition.
All right.
It looks like it's probably one of the Nogri was a gun nut, I guess, for lack of a better term, or a frontiersman, and was just putting stuff together for the outpost beyond their hand-to-hand weapons, and hadn't and never will get around to fixing the rest of them.
All right. Well, I'll grab one, I guess, and go up on the wall too. Then.
We have a flight problem. You probably want to look at this. one of the carts stops and it tracks downward, and you see what looks like some sort of rudimentary cannon. Beside it is what looks like a deflector array. Complete garbage, but working. So you see a spotty shield basically going over their spot, which is, is odd because they're all on foot. Until you notice what's in the third cart. Debris. They loaded into this strange shaped rudimentary cannon, and you watch in horror as a large chunk of stone becomes ionized and is launched like an electromagnetic catapult into your tower, putting a hole through your shield and then flying off into the forest. That's a railgun with an ionizer, and while it looks like shit, this thing's going to ruin our deflector shield.
What can we do about it?
How do we get
Kill
this thing
them.
to us?
Kill them or surrender, because those are our main options right now. I do have one more option, but it's a Hail Mary.
All right.
Okay.
By Mary, I mean like Lady Anna Beckham, not some type of Christo monotheistic person.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get Mary ready because Anyway, I'm going, and
he grabs you while why do I always forget her name? It makes me so mad. Felicia and Bree were having a quiet conversation. Nub grabs you, Nando, and says, I can bypass all the power to one what is it called? Exosphere distress signal. Okay, you probably know this, but the atmosphere, there's an exosphere, and that's where the Gree have do a lot of trading in the exosphere and pull things down for transportation. We could get, basically, this is a flare saying, help us.
Okay, but if it's all the power, then will we not have a shield anymore?
Well, if that thing, just as he gets ready to talk, another ionized chunk of crap comes flying in and another hole in your shield. You can actually feel this thing shake the tower as it kind of ricochets off.
Okay.
My guess is in about 3 more objects, we won't have a shield anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Do that. I don't want to get killed by last week's recycling, so I'm going to go up to the top of the tower. I'm going to shoot at things.
Do you want to tell her, or do you want me to tell her?
What?
Do you want to tell her, or do you want me to tell her? I think you should tell her. You're the captain.
I thought we were just going to do it.
Well, she's going to find out.
An executive decision here. They're having special one-on-one.
She's going to find out when the turrets stop working.
Okay. Hey, Felicia, by the way, everything's going to go.
He goes right back to working on the
right
console.
Now, in a minute, just so you know, just heads up, whatever. So if you could make it quicker, make out sesh. Because
she's like, we're not making out. We're trying to figure this out.
We're not going to have turrets.
So while this is going on, she's talking to you during this whole at the same time, Brave. She's like, I'm not sure what you were going to do because really fighting from a distance doesn't seem like it's your thing. So I'm going to man that turret that I've added extra juice to. I'll give you covering fire. If they're going to keep hitting us from afar, you need to deactivate that ion cannon, that piece of shit that they're throwing at us.
Yeah, I was planning on having to take care of that recyclotron, so let's get at it.
So she turns and looks at you now, and Nando goes, what?
Well, I don't appreciate your tone. Also,
Nando, what do you want?
Everything's going to turn off in a minute because Nub's going to send a
flare.
She
literally grabs you. She literally grabs you by your lapels, I guess, and says, what?
Nub's going to turn everything off. So
Point the fact it won't turn everything off. It'll deaden the system until it all reboots, which will be like 5 hours.
So he's going to turn everything off, and it's going to send a flare into space, and that's going to maybe get some people.
It will in fact draw attention.
So that is not the Hail Mary, by the way. I don't know what the Hail Mary is, but it's not that. It seems like that, but it's not that. So anyway,
she just walks down. She just starts walking down the stairs, and she just is flipping you off the whole time she's walking. She's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm sure Breeb is going right behind her.
Oh, he's already out the door.
Okay. I didn't want to talk to you either. I wanted Nub to do it, but
so like the shield just disintegrates down, and the railgun stops firing. The turrets go quiet. The drones return to their docking ports, and it's for 30 seconds. There's no noise. I'm sure you're on the roof by now, Nando.
For sure.
A Get comes out, and other Get get down like as tiered, and he steps and he stands on top of like a pyramid of Get, and uses a loud they reroute through the deflector shield, so it's almost like a sound boost. And he says, "The mother invites you to the temple. Come quietly, and we won't kill any of you. Come loudly, and you will live long enough to regret."
Can I just force leap at him?
So they're like a good half a football field away, but you can leap the wall and just be like, "That's my fucking answer."
All right.
I would like to shoot this person before they finish their sentence.
All right, yeah, they're still pontificating a little bit, and Breeb jumps over the wall, and you hear again everyone goes silent. So if you want to take a shot, do your thing.
Okay, let me roll. Okay, I got to check my stats. That's hot, right?
Let me grab the playbook. I never have the playbook set.
Oh no, hard. It's hard, right? Hard.
Walk hard, yeah.
Hard. That's 8.
You line up your shot, and you just hear this slug go flying through the air, and it just blows this guy off of his feet. The little pyramid of people fall down. It's really cool. You hear all the Get collectively not a ooh, but just a. Problem is, then this guy gets up. He's missing half of his face. He stands up, spits teeth out, sinew and a piece of his bone. He looks back, is for the mother, and they just rush a wall
without a face.
Get.
So as he looked back, is that enough time for me to have gotten to him just to cut him down?
Yeah, you do move at superhuman speed, so yeah, you can get there.
Perfect.
Polar nights, be polar days.
Ooh. Well, that'd be a 10.
So, Breeb, you jump over this wall, and as all this is going on, you just stand there. I'm assuming you ignite your lightsaber.
Oh yeah, and then move.
You ignite your lightsaber. Did you put your hood back?
Yes.
So they can see your face. You're standing there, and as he's doing this thing, slug just long enough for him to get up and do his little thing, and before he can turn his head all the way to say charge, he has no head and no arm. Problem is, though, you are now standing in the midst of a tide of Get. And I don't use the word tide lightly. This is 200, 250 people. And you're in the middle of it.
Yep, let's get going.
And that's when the one turret goes off and just chugga, 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 chugga. And we are now knee deep in it. as this is going on, Nando, you're reloading, I'm assuming, because this is just a rifle. It's a one-shot deal.
Mhm.
You see this energy beam fire off from the tower, and it goes straight into the exospirit and then blows up like a very large firework.
Hell yeah. That's so many colors for me. So many colors.
And you hear a Nub say, "Did I miss it?
That was good. It exploded.
Oh, I missed it.
No, it
God damn
exploded.
it!"
Oh, you missed seeing it. Yeah, you did. You did, buddy.
He goes, "Well, I guess I'm gonna go just fill the stairwell again and get ready to shoot people in the crowded stairwell."
That sounds like a plan.
Before.
I mean, you were really good at it.
This is not what I thought I'd be doing with my life. He goes down. And you can hear him like moving things around. What are you doing, Nando?
Nando is reloads and is. I think he would try to. I think he wants to try to take the railgun out. Like, I think if he wants to, like, if there's anything on it that he can see through the scope, like a fuel tank or something that might blow it up, I think he'd want to try that.
All right. There's like a cannon crew around it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like unlatching like all the people. They had basically as sled dogs to pull these carts. So no one's like around that thing right now. Plus they're all like, oh God, there's a Jedi like in the middle of all this. We knew they'd be here, but like we were not told they would be like, oh, there's only 250 of you. All right. Oh, you're all armed with primitive weapons and armor. Although you do have poison, I guess I'm just going to get in the middle of this. So who are you shooting at? The gun itself, the deflector array. What are we looking at here?
I think he wants to. Well, his goal is to blow something up with his gun. Like, he's like, there's too many. I need to like cause some damage.
So
throw things off, demoralize.
You don't have a shot because the rail gun is like it slopes on out of the back of the, so you don't have any like good angle on the power source. You do, however, have a good angle on the deflector shield power source because they're powered by two different shitty generators.
Then he will fire at that shitty generator.
All right, give me that sweet roll, baby.
Okay. Why you gotta be so slow? I gotta be so slow. 9.
You get a minor explosion.
Yeah.
And as you go to reload, your gun is shot. You're like, I broke it.
I broke the gun.
A minor explosion, and the deflector shield dish literally as the explosion happened, it goes and like overturns its cart and just lands sideways, scattering more people. Bree, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to make my way toward the stupid railgun. Try to take out the people who are manning it.
You are going to be at a minor. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to use D&D style. You're going to be at disadvantage. So roll one of your dice twice and take the lower. Roll one at regular, one at disadvantage. We'll say.
All right. Well, the regular's a 6. Wow. Oh, I rolled a 1 twice on the other one. You know, as to be expected. Is this hard? I should assume.
Yes, it's an attack. So
all right, so that's still 9.
Yeah. So you're just kind of like skating through this throng, just laying waste. Everyone's so compact, they're not able to really do much with their poison spears. They're just, everything's too close. You, however, are just cutting a swath through them, and you're moving like whenever it closes in, you just pop up and you're literally just lily padding off heads and shoulders and everything else. You're able to get to the railgun, and you take a swipe through the bottom of it, and the housing drops out, and you think, oh, perfect, I've deactivated. It sucks. And then you just watch as where there should have been wires, there's just a current. It's still running, but this thing's a bomb at this point. And that's when everyone stops, because a vehicle exits the exosphere and comes roaring down to planet side. Like everyone like looks up because it's like it's loud. It's like a truck with no muffler. It's just like it's so loud. Nando, you're looking at this thing and you're like, why does that look strangely familiar? Meanwhile, back in the ruined temple. At first I glanced at that. I read that as, is this the Honky Tonks man? Honky Tonk Man's old ship? I was like, what? But now I want a Honky Tonk man in our Star Wars game. Anyway,
I bet you if you asked Colin nicely or just asked him, he would honky tonky man.
I bet he would too. So the mother's like laughing, as we ended last time, she was laughing. I would like you, and again, I generally don't like to do roles this way, but we're going to do it this way. I want you to read a stitch. I don't know what that word is. Is it a stitch? Or I don't know why I thought it was a stitch. Sorry.
I'll do it. What is read a stitch? Oh, sharp. Yeah. All right. I got +1. Hey, that's 11 + 1. I'm reading the balls off that stitch.
She's lying to you.
She's lying
to you, man.
Everything about the Empire and everything?
No, like her whole plan and all that, it's bullshit. Like the whole maniacal monologuing, it's a lie.
All right. I feel like I'd keep that under my hat, but I don't really know. I mean,
You're drugged up, like right now.
I know. So yeah, I mean, I guess for me, that means that the Force is helping to kind of clarify my thoughts and help me to see through that. I'm not sure what I do with that at this moment. I guess I would,
I mean, it all depends. Do you want to call her on it and just be like, what's really going on here? Or do you want to just like play along and see where things go? I mean, you're drugged up. You're basically not able to defend yourself currently.
I think that I would.
And you don't have your lightsaber, so.
I mean, I think that I would just do my best to try to clear my head and just play along for right now. I don't think calling her on it in a
one thing
state is very.
One thing with that good a roll, you realize it's not just the drugs.
Okay.
Something, if you think about your mental defenses as a Jedi as a brick wall, someone is slowly but surely knocking bricks out of your wall. Something is punching holes. So slowly, but very steadily, is going to get through your defenses.
Would I exacerbate that if I were to try to reach out and see who in this space is sensitive to the Force, or like where I see those? Can I still? I mean, we had talked about.
Try.
Yeah, I'll try. I mean, I think that
why don't you do me one at disadvantage, maybe?
Okay, is that attuned? What am I doing here? Am I observing a person? I don't really know. Yeah,
I would say Well, yeah, I would say attuned. I would let you choose between sharp and attuned. I mean, I think.
I think I'll go with attuned. I'll roll at. I'll go with the tune. Yeah, roll this at disadvantage. Yeah, I mean, mostly I'm trying to like understand if this is coming from somewhere besides her in this space. So my disadvantage, I roll a 7, and I roll a 5, and I have a +3. So 8 is my low.
Just roll just one dice at disadvantage. So
Oh, just one at
yeah,
disadvantage?
I would tell you if it's like, you're like,
Oh,
roll a double
well.
disadvantage.
Okay. What same 7? So 7 + 3.
10. Like you kind of take a moment to try to gather yourself, and she sits down across from you, and you realize like she's literally pulling the force out of you,
Okay.
and not in the way you would think. It isn't just going to some black hole. Like she is starting to, like, there's a light now, like a very subtle light. She smiles and she says, "Don't wear yourself out."
I do this all day.
I'm hoping you can. I'm hoping you can do it for a lifetime.
It's the only way that you'll be able to reconnect with the Force. I don't think that it was taken from you. I think it was drained from you.
Honestly, I don't know. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. I've been here since the beginning. The 8 of us, we were part of the original crew. I've been here for hundreds of thousands of years, just slowly taking from here and there. But there were only 8 of us left. Well, now there's only 4 of us left. Because if I didn't take the other 4, I would already be dead. You see, I was resigned to the fact that I would just simply be happy enough to be the last forgotten. But then Jarek showed up. I took just enough from Jarek to be able to look at the bigger picture. And I knew if he would find us, that the Force had something bigger planned. And then lo and behold, you show up. And I know you're not alone. And because of you, she points at the door, she blossomed right in front of my eyes. You're literally feeding the Force, waking it back up. And that's feeding me. So, I'm going to make you the most generous of offers, Jedi. I can give you rest. I can make your dreams come true. You can sleep a slumber that will be everything you've ever wanted. And I will just take little bits and occasionally even wake you to have conversations, because you're a learned individual. And I am interested in the galaxy at large, since I plan to eventually return there. Or I can simply make you my consort. She looks over to these 2, like, you didn't notice them as much before because they kind of looked like booster canisters on the armor. But now you can take a good look at them. One's empty. The other one has a husk inside of it. I will just simply drain you every moment until there's literally just bones and skin left. So that is simply what I have on the table for you. And that pressing you feel, that's what you gave me. I'm going to break you one way or the other. The longer we sit here, the weaker you get, the stronger I get. So it doesn't really matter what you do. That's why I make this generous offer to you. I almost said Jennifer offer. This generous offer to you. Horrible, painful, long death. Or a long, peaceful sleep of contemplation. Probably. Especially when they saw this.
Fair.
Fair enough.
I don't think that your desire for power stops on this planet, or
Of course it doesn't. That's why I would awake you, my little bloom, so you can tell me more about the galaxy that my people left. I want to know what's there before I return, because I will eventually return.
that's something I cannot allow.
I was afraid you'd say something so foolish. She snaps her fingers, and a small group of Get come in, hoist you up onto your feet, and start dragging you towards this cocoon pod.
Well, I'm not quite sure what I have at my disposal that is going to allow me to do much there. I think that I still have a connection to the Force. I'm just
You do.
very strong right now, correct?
Yeah, you're literally being drained just in proximity.
I mean, I think that what I would do is I would try to manipulate the Get to drop me.
Okay, would you like to do that?
I would like to use the Jedi mind trick, and I'd like to seduce or manipulate. So I'd like to roll thought.
You definitely can do that at disadvantage.
Both or one?
Both this time.
Oop. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm just going to roll this one a bunch of times then. All right, a 4, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So 5 plus 3. 8 is my worst roll.
So are you going to verbalize this? Because I'm assuming that's how you'd have to do it. You couldn't just be like,
Yeah. No, I'm going to say release me. I'm going to throw all the weight of my connection to the Force behind it.
you say that, and the three that are holding you just sort of let you go. And that's when a black lightning shoots from her hand and drives you all the way across the room. Don't
Cool.
make
Cool.
me testy. They won't go near you now. Like, they're looking at her, and she's looking at them like, and she just says, weak-minded fools. And then she ignites your lightsaber, and she kills all three of them. And then she calls for more. Meanwhile, so the Gree hauler has arrived. Nando, Breeb, what are you doing?
Nando is still on the roof, so he is like, shoot them.
You like are doing that, and you hear nothing. That's a holler. They don't have any weaponry. They're just here to pick us up. Sorry, I beggars could not be choosers.
Okay. Well, cool.
I mean, if you want, they can go get retrofitted and come back, but we'll probably be dead by then.
Okay, I don't like your tone, but let's go get picked up then. Sure.
All right. Bree, what are you doing?
I guess I don't really know what that's for.
No, you are like, what in the fuck am I? You're at the same reaction to Get do. You're like, what? And that's when the cannon goes off.
Okay, I was going to say, I know that's going to happen, so I want to make my way away from that.
Little late.
Yeah.
I would like you to give me that. Well, you know what? I wouldn't think it would be hard. Would it be? It would be cool. Be cool.
It would be cool.
Spit in the face of those who are not cool. So spit in his face because he says racist shit.
Yeah. 8.
Like everybody turns and looks at this like bulky hauler, and then this thing goes chung 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 chung, and then it fires just as it explodes. You take a harm as you get launched. That's the bad news. The other bad news is the piece of ionized Durasteel cuts a huge chunk out of a hauler. The good news is about 70 of the Get are pretty much incinerated. And that cannon's is done. So the hauler's like, it's in bad shape. And you can hear Nub going, well, that's not my fault. That's your fault. Like, just land.
Has it landed?
No.
It's
making now kind of moved itself behind the tower. It's like kind of like, huh?
It now regrets everything.
Yeah, it regrets all those decisions. I don't care. I don't care if you are just the hauler pilot. Land it so we can get on it. You still are hearing Felicia just chung 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 firing away with this turret. Nando, we have a problem.
Do we have one?
They're gonna fly away here pretty quickly.
Okay, are they gonna?
Perhaps you could like make them stay.
Do you have a radio or something? Like, how are you? Are you talking to them?
I've got him on the comm.
Can I get on the comm?
He throws it up to you. Bree, what are you doing during all this after you get back on your feet and kind of shake the dirt loose from your ears?
I'm just trying not to die.
Bulky hauler is a great NXT name.
Yes. Is that hauler on my side of the tower, or is it on the other side?
It's on the other side. So technically it's behind the tower in a fashion where they would have to go through both you and Felicia at the turret to get there. So the hauler has pretty good cover right now, as opposed to you, who has no cover.
I mean,
there's a lot of fire and death around you. I guess that's kind of cover.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try to keep the fire and burning corpses between me and anyone that's going to try to come at me, or at least so they have to go all the way around.
You move yourself so you've got like a spot behind you that you could easily leap, but if someone wants to come through it, they're gonna burn.
Okay.
Because it's not just a regular fire. Like this
it's a cool
decimated
fire.
Yeah, this decimated railgun is like leaking plasma, so it's just like burning red hot.
Yeah.
You also realize like if you weren't a Jedi, you just die. Your your constitution being what it is, you're able to kind of withstand this heat. But by doing so, you also just have literally just a single path right towards you. So it's kind of like roaches can check in, but they can't check out. So they're like kind of standing on the outside of the fire, like trying to figure out what they're doing. When a group of them kind of line 2 by 2 and they just rush. What would you like to do?
I will rush back at them.
Okay. As soon as you start to rush, the first group sits down and sets their spears up, and the second group throws them.
All right. Well, I will try to bat them away as I leap over those first spears.
Okay. Be cool, man.
Oh, I'm super cool. 9.
All right. So you're running and you leap and you just go, oh God, they're throwing spears. I just didn't realize that. And you cut through the first and second wave of them leaping over, but you realize you have to land. And now you won't be in that ring of plasma fire, and you literally land, and you've got fire like 2 feet behind you with an opening. You've got 4 guys directly behind you, and then just a horde. It's both splitting time between you and getting shot by Felicia. So what are we doing, Nando?
Nando is he gets on the radio, and as he's turning on the radio, he is sort of jogging across the roof toward the hauler. On the radio, he's like, "Hi, hello. I'm so sorry. This is not the situation we wanted you to come into, but here we are. If you want to just hold on for a minute, I'm sure we can help with repairs. And you know what?
Who is this?
My name's Nando Bally, and I am the owner of the Boom Boom Room.
We've heard of
it. Okay, yeah. So free drinks for life.
Maurice has spoken highly of you.
Great.
So 1 second, please, and they basically put you on hold.
Okay, Nando's gonna keep running across the roof.
Are they going to let us on the hauler?
And then he's going to can he just jump from the roof onto he's just going to jump onto the ship.
You jump on top of the ship, and you can see like where the railgun tore a hole through, luckily not the ship, but like through one of the containers.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of fucked up like the equilibrium of the ship, and it's also done some damage to the ship. And the more you look at it, you're like, why does this look like our exploratory vehicle?
Why does this look like our exploratory vehicle?
Yeah, you're like, I've driven this vehicle before. Why does this look like this?
What the fuck?
This does not look like the green ships I've seen at all.
Well, Nando then at that point, he probably would have anyway, but at that point he definitely feels entitled to drop through this hole onto the ship.
So you can't drop through the ship to get into the hole. This is like literally just a cargo container. You'd have to you're like on top of that, but you can literally walk on top of the cockpit and be like,
yeah, I know he's going to do that. It'd be like,
you see 3 green, they're like talking on comm sets, and they all look up at one time, and they're all like looking at each other. Green are kind of hard to read because they look like octopuses, but they do have a look on their face like, oh no.
He's like, this is mine.
You see one of them go,
this is mine.
like, I don't know. And you hear the whir of a it's not a gangplank, but it's literally like a tube that extends. You also realize at this point that Ericor's is unconscious and Brebe is fucked up enough. Walking down 2 flights of stairs might be an issue.
Yeah, I'm trying to secure this ship.
Okay, so you want to get off the top of the ship and go through the.
Yeah, I want to get on the tube and be like.
Hey. You get in the tube and there's 3 Gree there, and they're just like looking at you. And,
hey, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Where'd you get this?
How are you?
Where'd you get this?
Oh,
so nice.
I'm not at liberty to discuss this at all.
Oh, okay.
This is a Gree hauler for the system protectorate.
Nando's gonna go to over. He's just gonna like walk over real quick to like a nearby.
As you walk over, one of the Gree hands you a comm headset.
He puts the comm headset on.
Friend Nando,
Yes.
this is Captain Maurice. I cannot find my last name.
Sorry about that.
Taggett. This is Captain Maurice Taggett.
Hello. Hi, Maurice.
You know each other reasonably well.
Oh, okay. Hey, Maurice.
I have been told that we are providing a rescue operation. I have already signaled to New Hassa to send additional vessels,
Oh, sweet.
but they are ETA out 25 minutes.
Okay, that feels like a long time.
It is a long time, friend Nando.
Can they, speed it up?
No. If they could, they would already have done so at my request.
Okay. Cool ship, by the way.
Everyone is just quiet. And
Where'd
then
you get it?
you hear him go, hold, please.
Just
And they're just like,
okay.
Are you one of them says, are you alone?
No, I'm not. I just need you to just like hang out here for a minute while I go get. We have injured.
They're all three like looking at each other like,
We have injured.
and after like a really uncomfortable 45 seconds, Taggett pops back on. I'm not at liberty to discuss that currently, Nando. We can discuss it.
Yeah, we can talk about it later.
Once your friends and yourself have been secured from the drop point.
Okay.
You
we'll
have my word.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. I'm gonna go get my friends.
Safe journey. And it clicks off.
Thanks. Okay.
So one of the Gree gets out and immediately like puts on a little jetpacky boy and then goes up and starts like trying to just fix the damage to the hauler so it doesn't throw it all off. As you get out back down the tube, you watch him like looking for like literally watching the Jedi and Felicia just mowing down savage humans or humanoids with a turret cannon, and the Jedi is just like doing Jedi shit, and he's not fixing anything. He's just like his plasma torch is just cutting nothing. He's just watching it, like what am I seeing?
There's like they're with me. Chop chop.
And he gets like right back to work. And you, how are you getting back over the wall?
How am I getting back over the wall?
Yeah. It's like a 15-foot tall wall.
But I'm in the ship, their ship, and I'm gonna try to
I thought you got out of the ship to go back and get them.
Well, I thought the ship was behind the tower on our side.
No, the courtyard's not that big.
Well, then can I just get back on the top of the ship and jump back onto the roof?
No. I mean, it was a pretty. You took a fall, not a bad fall, but now you could go up and, I mean, if you could convince them to hold the ship above, and like you could go from the tower, go back down the tube into the tower.
Yeah, I think he'll do that. He'll be like, you know what? Actually, thinking about it, could you like just pop up real quick so I will
also say, like, when you're having this conversation, you're looking at the controls, and they've been modified, but not so they're modified for Gree, but not so modified you couldn't just fly this thing.
Do I want to steal my own ship back from these people?
It's not your ship, but it's very similar
Nando.
to the exploratory craft, like this, basically like your shuttle. Mm-hmm. Not the big ship, but not the Brazier. The Brazier. Name ship the Brazier. Am I just now getting that?
No.
I've heard it both ways.
Okay, fair.
Nando, like on his way back, like taps like the side of a wall that has like Nando was here, like carved into it.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does? Okay.
I think so.
Perfect.
Nando is like, yeah, can you just hop us up a little bit? Like, I just need to get.
What
over the
about
wall.
on the one was talking?
probably-
What about on the
What?
roof? He's like, what about the one guy's looking at the pilot and going, or he's on the roof.
That's really far. Can you just do it? They probably don't have any guns left.
They were talking about their buddy who's on the roof repairing it.
Oh.
I love you. Like, those guys don't have guns now.
They probably don't
there's
have
a guy
guns.
on the roof. Sorry.
Can you come back in for a second? Like,
They're like completely. You have the complete knowledge at this point. These are not combat troops. These are literally like space truckers.
totally. Yeah,
They
Nando's
have
just
the
gonna.
degree equivalent of a mesh hat turned backwards and chaws in their mouth.
I think Nando will just go. Yeah, he's just gonna pilot the ship. He's just gonna be like,
You're
"No,
like, excuse me,
fine.
excuse me.
Fine.
All right, give me a cool as you just decide to do this shit so you don't
So
spill the
cool.
gree off the roof.
I would never. Wow. Okay. I rolled a 12.
Oh shit!
So
Smooth
that's-
as silk.
that's 14.
You like tilt the ship so he's actually at a better angle, and you hold it in place with its landing thrusters. The tube is at a little bit of an angle, but it's like not a big deal for you. It's not a big deal for you.
No.
All right,
Nando,
so-
like,
Meanwhile, Duo, you see 3 more come in, and you are like propping yourself up against the wall onto your feet. That immense amount of pain is giving you like a bit of clarity. So for this next action, you're at full. You're like that burning pain. You're like, all right, I no longer feel like drugged, sleepy. Now I'm just pissed.
I think that if I have that amount of clarity, I'm going to do my best to wrench that lightsaber away using the Force.
Ooh, I love it.
I need something. So, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I would say this would be act under fire. This would also be cool.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Because you're just like doing, I mean, first of all, it's really cool. You're not manipulating you when you're not reading a sitch.
It's
You're
cool.
not threatening or assaulting.
Not a terribly cool person, so this might be a bungle, but hopefully I'll roll well. Yeah, I rolled a 7 and I have a -1 for cool, so that was not my best move.
Do you want to give $1 to extra life?
I'll give 5 to extra life if you let me pass cool as shit.
For 5, I will give you auto success.
Fuck yeah. Here
That's a
comes
12,
baby.
baby.
If this is what puts us over the over the edge, we've been at like 99% for I don't know, like
you're like
basically
leaning against the wall, Wolverine and Days Future Past style, looking rough as hell. And you like take a minute and you stand up straight, and the 3 get that are in the room like look from you to her, like, and look down at the dead bodies.
Mhm.
Like there's a momentary like, oh no. And she's like, what are you waiting for? And she got the lightsaber in her hand and it just starts to shake. And she looks down at it and she's looking at her hand. Her hand is forced open and the lightsaber goes flying across the room, reigniting as it hits your hand. And they look at her like, and she's like, kill him, but don't kill him. And they rush across the room at you.
I'm going to do what I need to do to defend myself. So
They've got spears and they come at you full tilt. So do what you got to do, baby.
I'm going to just work to cut the tips off all those spears, unless they get too close, in which case they're going to
the tips.
Chase. Yeah, just the tips. They're gonna. All right.
This would be hard.
Yeah.
And you're back down to one One.
I'm going to use my force of will. Oh no, that's when I use my force to assault. Okay.
You're assaulting. I'll let that go with it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to use the force of will. I'm going to imbue my attacks with the force, which means I roll plus attune instead of plus hard for threatening it or assaulting, which is good because I rolled a 7 and I need the 3, so that'll be 10.
You don't even cut the tips off. You somehow cut between all of their arms, so the spears are just shredded. They're not even like Escrim sticks anymore. They're just like pieces of stick. The problem is that gave her plenty of time to climb into her exosuit, which you hear just go. So what are you gonna do as it starts to turn its way around?
I think I need to go. I think I'm just going to try to like.
Been a good time, babe.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see this having a productive way forward. So, yeah, I don't like that. She rolls 5s and 6s all the time to recharge. I don't want none of that. I got my lightsaber. I think that helps me buy a bit of way out, and so I think I'm just going to go for anything that I can see. I mean, I don't really know where I am, so
there's one open, large portal. Like we said, like the outside where you remember being dragged through is like all fucked up. It's just rotting and gross. But when you went through this portal, this room is like very opulent, well kept. There's a blast door, like a circular blast door, and it's currently open. You do realize it's big enough for that suit to get through.
I don't know that I have I don't know that I have a choice. I think that I have to, unless I feel like reaching out for the force right now is not necessarily something that I have time to do. I think I just need to trust my instincts and go.
Okay.
So I'm going to let the force guide me, and I'm going to run for, I guess the blast door.
All right,
the only way that I can see out. That's where I'm going. Yeah.
You head to the blast door. You want to do anything else? They're all starting to come after you.
What else is available in the room?
On the hallway you're in, or back in the room you were in?
Basically in the room that I'm in. I'm wondering if I could
No, you're in a hallway now.
Okay, well, but I'm wondering, like, as I'm running out, if I'm running out, if there's anything in the room that I could like pull like behind me to slow.
Yeah, there's all kinds of there wouldn't be like bookshelves, but they're just like they're like shelves, but they're full of like
storage.
You look at and they're just like, these are like from time I can't even imagine. All this shit is so old.
Fuck it. And I'm gonna pull I'm gonna pull as much as I
Duolingo
can.
Museum Destroyer.
Hey, guess what? If she wanted to share the knowledge with me, she would have. She's an extractor. She's not an injector. Nando, that's for you. All right, I'm going to pull that over with the forces. I'm going down, and I'm why
don't you make me a roll at regular?
Okay.
For that, even if you fail, you can still pull it down. I just want to see if there's anything extra. 7.
Regular, just like no pluses, yeah.
No pluses. I just mean with no penalties.
Oh, yes, I guess. I don't know. So, what are we considering that? It's not manipulation. It's not.
I would say you can use trust your instincts, or you can use your hard to attune if you want.
Okay.
Because you are assaulting.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Then that'd be a 9.
Okay. As you're going, like, you turn around just the last minute.
Yeah.
And put your hands together, and like shit just starts crushing in on it.
Yeah.
The 3 dudes are just like crushed underneath the rubble. She can't quite get all the way through. You can see her as this giant like Rancor skull helmet comes down, and all you can hear is this scream of absolute impotent rage. And you're in this blackened tunnel.
Sick.
Back to Brebe in the middle of a lot of dudes.
Wow, wow, wow. Just spinning that lightsaber, trying to stay alive.
Make me that sweet, sweet roll, Nate Dog.
All right, I'm getting hard up in here. It is in 10.
10. You're laying dudes out, but you can't get back the way you were in the Ring of Fire. So instead, you've made your way on top of the only cart that's not currently burning or overturned.
Not yet.
Not yet. And that's the one that was full of the debris that was being thrown.
Yeah.
Now you're in a situation where you're standing atop this cart. It's tall enough that if you squat down, no spears can get to you. But you're above everything. And now it's just like this horde surrounding. There's still like 100 dudes here, you know, trying to get to you. And like I said, they're so obsessed with trying to get you that they're just don't even seem to care that Felicia is just killing a swath of them constantly with a turret.
Well,
Until they are. And that's when a huge group of them turn and they start to rush the walls. As soon as they see that grease ship lower itself to the top of the tower, about 50% of them break towards the gate.
The gate's still barricaded, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll take them some time.
Not as long as you think. They broke it down before when it was way more defended.
I don't like it.
And
How
once
far am I from the gate?
You're about 60 yards.
Okay.
A little more than half football field.
How far can one force jump?
I don't know, Nate. How far can one force jump?
That's a great question. We can find out.
My guess would be you can force jump anywhere between 30 and 40 feet. That's a long way.
Yeah.
I was thinking about episode 1 with them two fools jumping up, jumping down, jumping all around.
All right. Well, let's jump up, get down.
Warriors got it.
All right. So I rolled a 6. What am I cool at this point trying to get over there ahead of them?
Would you
So
like
that's
to potentially donate to Extra Life?
So that's a 7.
Okay, that'll work. Won't get you there, but it'll work.
It doesn't. Let's. Yeah, I mean, what do we? $1, $5?
Oh, we're if you want to auto success,
Yeah.
it's got to be the 5, baby.
All right. $5 make
3 ain't enough. I need 5. That's a way back NXT reference. God, I'm old. Anyway, you take a breath, you pop up onto the back of the rail thing. Spears are flying everywhere. You run down the cart, like you literally run down the actual like handholds the first in line guys were using, and you jump. And as you're jumping, more spears flying everywhere. You realize you're not going to make it. You're like, I'm not going to get anywhere near where I thought I was going to get. You look down and you see a Get look up at you, and you plant your foot right on his face, and you leap again. Not only do you get more, but you actually get to the wall. You drop down on the ground, you're back to the wall, and you look up and you're sort of chugga, 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 as the turret goes off. And you look up and you see Nando's coming out of a weird umbilical cord on the top of the tower, a cylinder cord. Nando, you are now back inside the tower.
Okay, good news. No, good news. That's our shuttle. What are the odds?
What?
It's our shuttle.
Well, I'll have to look at it because I got to feed.
Wow.
It does look like one of our shuttles.
It's one of our shuttles. We don't have time. Let's go. I'm gonna like pick Nub up.
What about an Aircore? He's kind of like almost dead.
Oh,
Go get him. I'll limp up my way up.
okay. All right.
You realize like this is maybe the nicest thing that Nub has said about Aircore the whole time. Like
Nub.
he like because usually he's like, okay, that guy kind of scares me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no,
the idea that he would like help him first, you're like, oh shit, this is
Sure. Okay, Nub. Like, thanks, Nub. Thanks for reminding me. I would have fully forgot that he was even here. So
you run down, you chug the Nogri over your shoulder, and he's like,
mm,
oh, my ancestors. And you pass Nub on the stairs going up because he's still like every step he's like, ow, ow, ouch.
I'll be back. I'm on my way back. I'm coming back.
He gets to the top, like as you pass by, and he pulls out two slug throwers and just goes chung 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 chung, right past Felicia, and at the front four that are rushing towards you, Brave, just go down. He's like, these are pretty cool. I think I will be keeping these. And then you help him up into the umbilical. The other Gree jetpacks his way over. He's got like one of those Jetsons air packs, not like the cool Mandalorian jetpack, but these are like more like weird, like poofy anti-grav things. He makes his way down. He looks. He goes, it's all patched up. Thank you for not dumping me down among the savages. Am I gonna just go back up there now? Thank you. He goes back up inside. So you're standing on top of the tower. You're just a boy sitting up in a tower, looking out at a horde.
Okay, so we still got to get Felicia. We still got to get Bree. How? For a second I was like, would Nando do this? Like,
Nando do what Nando want.
Nando will get back on the ship, and what he'll now that no one's on the roof.
By the by, because I didn't say this earlier, these cargo containers are empty.
Perfect. Nando will take the helm again, and I think what he'll
you're like, oh god.
And
then you hear Nub go, this is ours.
I know it says Nando was here on that.
I know. I tried to scrub that off like so many times. It's still there.
Yeah.
I know you
Never gonna come off, man.
And the Grey are like looking at each other like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it later. But so Nando is going to
watch them go further back into the ship, and you can hear them you can hear your comms go interference, like they're staticked out, like they're being jammed. You can hear them talking in their own language through a comm system.
Okay, they're being weird, but it's fine. We have more important things than weirdness.
Nub comes up and sits in the co-pilot seat and goes, luckily, they don't know that I speak Gree.
Oh, yeah, what are they saying?
No, I lied. I cannot speak Gree.
Okay.
It's really complicated. I'm an engineer, not a linguist.
Listen, I don't know. It's been a minute. Maybe you picked up some hobby. I don't know. You're
getting stabbed in the leg. That's the main hobby I've had of late.
You contain multitudes, my friend. So Nando will fly over to like the turret area, like right where the turret is. Can he just umbilical cord Felicia out of the turret? Can he just be like?
She's like looking up, and Nub goes and looks down, and she's like, "I can't. Like if I don't keep firing, they're going to overrun us." And you look down, and it is just now the full wave. And as fast as she can shoot him, and as fast as Brave can cut him, there's just a flood of them.
Is there a bulky hauler sized space between Felicia and Bree where I could just land the ship on top of them?
You could. It won't get all of them.
It'll get a lot of them though.
It'll get a chunk of them. It'll get a third of them. I'll say that.
Yeah, Nando's just gonna be like squish.
All right, you like turn the ship sideways like a blocking wall, and you just like drop down, shake the shit out of the bottom of the ship because you don't go landing gears, and you squish all of these guys. The Gree open the side hatch. Bree, you can easily get in because you're on the ground. Felicia has to jump down 15 feet to get there.
I can catch her though, right?
You can try. Why don't you give me that?
I'll
I'll let you choose. You can use hot or you can use cool.
It's definitely cool.
Okay. You're like, yeah. There's no like me being like, hey girl. This is all about me being like, get to the chopper.
No, my hot is -1, so it's definitely not that. It is cool, so that's a 12.
She's like looking down. She hasn't been able to. She had to stop shooting because it would shoot the hauler, and she like has this moment of like paralyzation. Like she's like, I can't. All this shit she's in, all of a sudden, it's like the height. All of a sudden, kind of gets to her that moment. Like if you've ever looked down, you know it's only like 10 feet, but it feels like it's 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like put your hand up, and she closes her eyes, and you use a little bit of the force, and you pull her down and catch her as you're stepping in, and the side doors are shutting because the remainder of the Get have crawled on top of the ship, just like Ryan's reference earlier, and they are surrounding the ship and just banging on it, like in complete frenzy, madness. They're all on board, Nando.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up hard, like just like
You pull up, it's like, and just bodies are falling everywhere in free fall. Where are you going?
Endo like looks back toward the debris and is like, where are we going?
Felicia kisses Bree and she walks forward. She leans over the co-pilot and pilot seat and she says, I don't know, Captain, where are we going?
Do you know this is ours?
She looks down at you. She just nods her head like, yeah, duh. I saw it fly out of the sky. I recognized it right when it flew out.
Nando will.
Nub looks at you with, what about our friend? What about Brog? What about the older scary Jedi gentleman? You know, your friend.
Yeah, we need to save Duo and Vens.
Oh,
But what about Brog?
I mean, Brog too, but like, do we know? We don't know where they.
You
Where are
can
they?
literally
Where are
just low fly over the road and see where the temple's big. You would not miss it.
Sure, yeah, Nando will do that. He'll be like, okay, just taking our ship for a casual Sunday drive.
The gray in the back are like, like one raises his tentacle and is like, I thought we were going back. Like,
I mean, we're going.
but this is not back. This is more.
I don't know where back is.
Beep, 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 beep. They're seriously like not down for this at all. But like what? Is this a hijacking? Like one of them really like literally goes, are you hijacking us?
No, this is a recovery.
Is this a hijacking?
This is a recovery.
One finally steps forward, who appears probably to be the captain. He's like, how can this be a recovery? I've been flying this ship for 4 years.
How'd you get it?
It was assigned to me by the Protectorate. And then you just show up and you say it's yours and you just take it from us? We came down here to help you.
No, I know, but we have more. Listen, okay, this was.
Are you going to try to manipulate him?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm going to use my personality. I'm just going to be like, listen, like.
Well, you can still use your personality and make a hot roll.
I can make a hot roll, sure.
Oh shit! For a second, James, like the way your background was done, you looked so regal. Like you looked very like if Dooku was a good guy.
Yeah, I've looked like that the whole time, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Come on, man.
This is just my. This is just.
You know why? It's the hood's down. I got the Dooku
Ah,
vibes because the hood's down.
This is just what my face looks
this is who I be.
like. 8.
I also have like the clean line Dooku.
You
beard.
do have clean line beard. He kind of sighs with resignation, and he says, "Okay." He steps backwards, and then he says, "But you'll have to answer the protectorate, and that's on you." And they go to the back of the ship, and they just sit.
Okay.
Like you can tell, they are fucking terrified.
Listen.
Listen,
Hey,
man, it's me. It's your
listen,
boy,
it's me, your
Nando.
pal, Mando. Like it's okay. I'm sorry you're scared. I'm sorry that this is the situation you find yourself in. I get it.
Alicia gets up as you're saying this, and you're flying. As you're like talking to him over your shoulder, like that.
I'm the pilot.
You're like flying with that. I will pull this ship over. Felicia walks back, and she's like, "I don't give a shit what he said. If you know who you're gonna have to answer to, you're gonna have to answer to us. You can tell the protectorate that."
Yeah.
And she walks back to the front, and she's like, "Let's get our fucking friends."
Okay, good cop, bad cop. I'm not a cop.
Legally,
yeah.
you have to tell us if you're a space cop.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a space cop.
She like
Got
pulls
it.
her blaster out, and she looks at it, and she's like, "I'm out."
Oh, you like your gun is out of ammo. Like you're not just being like, okay, cool. Like
No, my blaster's dead.
Okay. Did you bring any more of those slug?
Well, those are mine. I'm going to keep these. They're very, very interesting. I'd like to take them apart and put them back. Okay. He reaches into. He's got his duffel bag full of tools, and he's like, "I guess you guys can have a couple of these. Please don't ruin them because I'd like to fix them." And you already broke the rifle, which were super cool.
I didn't. The rifle broke on me. The rifle is the failure here.
Machine.
It's on the rifle.
I would say that the user error. That's
It's a skill issue.
That's a skill issue. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. As you're flying, and you're cruising now. I mean, you're low altitude flying. Breeb, you all of a sudden, like when you guys get close, you just feel like a wall. You can feel Ven's, and like she is like a white hot burning light of the Force. And then you can feel two like intertwined energies like pulling and pushing at each other at the same time. And you definitely know one of them's duo, but the other one you can't get a read on at all.
All right, so I'll just kind of point where my feeling is. They're over there.
You crest the horizon and you see the temple. Overgrown all the way around, crumbling. You would reckon that at one point this thing was probably 10, 12 stories tall. That's kind of crumbled in on itself. That it was probably in its day magnificent. Where would you like to land?
Breeb.
On top or in front?
I think Dando's like, where are they?
Inside. You'd feel it from inside the temple, Breeb.
Yeah, I mean they're somewhere in there. You're the guy. You're the pilot. Where's the best?
You're the guy
place
driving this space bus.
You're the one who's got Jedi Dar. Like I don't know what. Like
Felicia, like literally looks at you two and says, "Just fucking park it."
Find top.
You park it on top, and like in the only spot that feels like it's not going to cave in. And you land, and it's a good 20-foot drop down.
Okay, nub.
Well, you can use the secure lines to rappel down. I will not be joining you.
That's perfect. I was just going to say, can you stay here to make sure that they don't like fuck off with our space shuttle?
He's like trying to twirl his gun on his furry finger, and he drops it like 2 or 3 times. Luckily, it has no ammunition because he gave it all to you. He goes, "This thing is loaded." And they're just like, "What?" He goes, I'm kidding. Please don't die in there. I can't drive this thing. They've done too much to it.
Okay.
Felicia checks her revolvers. She has another she hands to Nando. She has one she tries to hand to Breeb.
I don't need it.
She says, "Take it," because you
All
never
right. I'll put it in my belt.
know. And then the last thing out of his bag, one thing you did not see earlier because he hoarded it for himself. Neb looks around and he goes, "I found this." It's basically Star Wars equivalent to a blunderbuss. And he hands it to Nando and goes, you'll get like one youth out of it, but it'll be a big youth.
Great.
Also, bring
Thanks.
the parts back because I want to try to fix it the right way.
I will. I'm gonna blow some shit up with this. Thanks.
Just don't blow the supports up because that's the only thing holding this our old ship up. And it is our old ship. He keeps looking back at those guys.
I won't.
I'll stay with Ericor and hold the fort down.
Cool.
Captain.
Great. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys rappel down.
I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
And the moment you rappel down, all you can hear is this shrill, just impotent scream of anger. You all hear it, but Brebe, you feel it. Like it actually, like through the force, you feel it. Like you're like, God damn, ugh. It's
Is that
awful.
I
I
feel
just saw this. Sorry. Fair.
I mean,
I developed the substance
story.
abuse problem.
space cocaine.
you guys realize you're like on an upper floor, but as you're walking, you can see, like, you come to a spot towards the middle of the temple, and you can look down off your balcony, and you can see like cages that are suspended via chains over a humongous pit. You see a couple, maybe 10, 15 get. I'm just kind of milling about. Aww!
Oh,
Aww, yeah. And Nando, you instantly recognize Brog, but Brog looks terrible. Brog looks like they're just a carpet being held up by pixie sticks. They look terrible. And these cages are built in a way where you can't sit down. You're literally forced to stand the entire time. Brebe, you see Vens, and they have managed to take that spear and put it in a position where she can't move it, and it forces her to stand up inside one of these cages, which you can't imagine how much agony. Which you're thinking, like, that's why her force is so, like, and then it hits you. Oh shit, she's just in an absolute blind rage. Like, this is maybe not good.
Do we see the apparatus for putting the cages up and taking them down?
Yes. There is a crank. So you're going to have to crank it. That sends across a walkway that will lower them onto like a 7x7 foot. So there's enough to bring them down and land out. Because you don't know what's in that pit, but you know it's probably not good.
oh.
And that's when you see a form come out of a tunnel.
A familiar form?
A familiar form. I'm assuming you're being stealthy, Duo.
That's generally the plan, yeah.
Yeah, just stealthy as hell as I run as fast as I can away from this.
You watch Duo come sprinting out of a tunnel, and all the get in the room stop and turn and look at him, and they start trying to reach for things. Duo, you erupt out into the large center. I don't know what you'd call it here. What's the word I'm looking for? Hall. Speaking of halls, I bought Mines of Moria. Can't run it, but it was $15, so I bought it.
Yes, dude, we're gonna have so much fun. I cannot recommend that highly enough. It's such a good time. Even
as I can grab my computer, I'm in. So anyway, just want to let you know.
Even half awake during Extra Life, veering into walls. Which you can watch and is very funny, by the way.
I can imagine. All right. So you see Duo come out, and Duo, all of these guys, like 10 to 15 of them, they turn and they look at you and they just start grabbing weapons. What are you going to do?
Can I sense breed?
I would say not yet, just because you're far more focused on other things. You haven't taken a moment to be like, whereas Breed was like trying to find you.
Well, then I am
I
going.
will find you.
Okay, I'm just going to go hard as the paint then. From force of will these guys. I'm just gonna use. I feel like I've used the lightsaber and other things to like move and cut, and so I think I'm just going to go as hard as I can, trying to continue to move towards the outside or away out, and it seems like I'm close. So
Yeah, you're well to a big, not like when you look at it, you realize there's no central doorway. It's just a hole, like it's just been knocked in it. Which also, when you look, you can see the Wookiee that you have been looking for, and you see Ben's, both in really bad shape, hanging in these cages above this pit, and that's when a shot rings out, and the Get closest to you eats a bullet right in the face.
I do like that.
And Felicia looks at you two, and she's like, "I know what we're setting about for," and she grabs one of the vines and starts to haul herself down to the first floor.
Damn, Felicia. I've been waiting a long time to say that.
I think about every other episode one of those comes out.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I've been waiting an hour and 34 minutes to say it.
Perfect.
So, I look forward to it each episode, actually.
You should.
Okay, well then I'm just going to, if I see that she's there at that point, I mean, my priorities also switches to.
That's when you see Breeb and Nando.
Yeah, well, in that case, if it looks like they are retrieving Vance and
they're on the second floor, they're literally coming down to the first floor. Well, she is. I don't know what the other two are doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to jump down and start cranking it.
You can easily jump down. As you jump down, a handful of Get come charging at you. With spear.
Yeah.
Nando,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
We out here yanking cranks. Nando's gonna also I think Nando's gonna sort of move. He wants to get to the crank. I think that's his priority because he's like frog. So he's gonna go that way, and yeah, he's gonna shoot some fools on his way.
Okay, give me a Nando. Why don't you give me a hard? I'll say you can get down pretty easily.
Okay.
Breeb, you can also give me a hard if you want to start dropping fools.
All right.
7.
9.
Okay. Breeb, you're dropping fools, but you do get nicked. And you're just like, uh-oh. You're like, oh no, this isn't good.
Oh yeah, that's the not fun spear.
Yeah. Nando, you jam one of the pistols.
Motherfucker.
Which is the only pistol you currently have.
Oh,
But you do have this other thing.
I do have the other.
Duo, what are you doing?
Is Felicia going after Vance to free Vance?
Felicia is also trying to negotiate her way through the room to get to the cranks. Yeah, there's 3 people who want to crank it real bad.
Well, I think if the GIF are heading for Breeb, then I'm going to just get to Breeb so the two of us can act together. Because I think that the question of how high or how far
maybe a cool. Be a cool boy. Be a cool boy. Be a cool boy for me.
What would you say to an 8?
Cool. You run and jump off some crates and land, and when you land, you see a couple guys come in, you slide on your back between them, and you pop up right next to Breeb. and you guys are kind of looking at each other. It reminds me of like when Jack Burton and I can't think of his.
You're talking about Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, the actual lead character in the movie look at each other,
Yeah.
which is my favorite part about that movie is that Jack Burton's the sidekick, not the lead. They look at each other and he does the like. You guys look at each other and it's like, you're feeling pretty good about it because now you guys all have the small amount of get right in front of you.
Yeah.
And they realize that they're kind of fucked. And you see that they're about to run, and that's when the wall breaks. And a massive exoskeleton mech covered in bones and flesh burst through. It's got a Rancor helmet over its where the person sits in the mech and just starts charging at you. This is it, folks. What do you want to do? Nate's just like, what?
I'm gonna blunderbuss all over this thing. That's what I want to do. You gave it to me.
I've been hoisted on my own petard.
This is on you.
Yeah, I'll tell Bree we have to
Hey, warrior, get hard.
buy some time.
It's born hard.
We should not be allowed to play games together.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is great.
You need to roll hard though if you're going to use the
It's
blunderbuss.
8.
8.
8 again.
You like drop to a knee because it's like a big thing, and you line up your shot. I mean, I will let you donate $5 tax deductible to Extra Life if you want to hit at 12.
Sure.
Okay. $15 more, yes. You like the trigger is kind of sticking, and you're like, oh no, oh no. And she's bearing down on you, and then you just go, squeeze, boom. This thing does not have normal shot or normal slugs. It is literally throwing flechettes. It's more of a flechette launcher than anything else. So about 2-inch long knives, tiny knives come launching out. Most of them don't find purchase because of all the armor, but the ones that do, and there are so many in there, it's enough. That scream of anger becomes a scream of like, oh God. As you watch just behind in the exosuit, the parts where you can kind of see flesh and the cybernetics, you're just watching blood just start to pour out everywhere. It's like a goddamn horror movie. All right, duo, Bree, what are you doing?
I think that we have to buy them time to get Pence and all the other prisoners out. So I think we should think about how far we can jump. I think it's time to throw the Celestin.
Does Vens have the special sword, or is it one of us?
No, the special sword is on the mother's armor right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. It's not good.
Because we need that to take her out, don't we? Wasn't that the plan?
Well, you guys are having this quiet powwow as Nando shoots a blunderbuss. Felicia is already starting to just like crank this thing back down.
Yeah, I think that we just need to take. Yeah.
It's a Tarantino movie over there. So what are you two doing? What are you two special boys doing?
It sounds like Duo wants to fastball special me.
Yes. I think how far can force jump go? Force jump go as far.
You got far enough.
Yeah.
Good. Movie.
Hey, this is just facts.
Onlymex.com. Yeah, let's do it. Let's.
All right, you fastball special him. So I would like you duo to roll me a cool and then Breeb a hard because I'm assuming you're going to assault this mech.
Oh yeah,
Assault this mech.
that's a 10.
Ooh.
I scored something middling, and so I'd like to make a donation to make this work because Breeb deserves a cool moment.
For the children, like Wu-Tang.
For the children.
All right. You pick him up, and it's like been a hot minute since you've done this, so you kind of got to get a feel the weight again. And then you just like toss him up and then catch him and throw him like a bowling ball made of razor blades. And Breeb, when she sees you coming, like she's like got her big mech hands out, like looking down because she's like, oh God, I'm like leaking from everywhere. She tries to get her hands up and you go right through them right before she can close them. What do you do?
I want to basically take off whatever appendage that sword is kind of attached to at this point.
It's on the hip.
Oh, it's on the hip.
Yeah, you can see it though.
All right. Can I take out a leg and grab it?
Yeah, so you get through her two closed hands and like you're in between the skull and your back's against those hands that are closed. And you look at her and she's just gritting blood through her teeth. And she's like, do it. She thinks you're going to stab her right through. And instead you go, okay. And you chop one of the legs of the mech off. And she's like, what? Falls over, got her one-legged mech. I'll say you can even just pick the sword up like, okay, I got it.
Perfect.
And then you are thrown 30 feet with a force push.
Oh.
And I would like you to make me a cool.
Wait, can you say that again? Your mic got really quiet.
He got thrown with a force push.
Yeah. I heard that part. Okay.
I rolled an 11.
I believe we're still taking donations.
Fair. Yes.
But, okay. You start flying and you realize like I don't have any footing here, and you look down and you see you're going to land in the pit.
Oh no, I don't know what's in there.
And as you start to fall, you're like, oh, it's full of people. Oh no, not those kind of people. And as you go, you and Felicia grabs arms at the last minute, and she gets to grab with both arms, and she's like hauling you up. So she's got the chain from the crank around one arm, and she's holding you with the other one. And you're able to scramble your way up onto there. And you look down, and these things were once people, but they aren't anymore. She pops the eject on her big mech and steps out in her regular exosuit. And she turns on a black vibroblade. She says, it's going to be a shame to kill all of you. And she's just blood, just like all these tiny flechettes and all these parts that were not protected by the out of the mech are just full of little, like if someone just like launched a ton of like blades from a razor at you, you know. And she's like, I'm going to leave you all wishing I killed you when I'm done. And that's when all three of you can feel the force pulling. As she starts to pull the force. What are you going to do?
So the vibro blade she has is the same one I just...
No, it's
similar?
different. It's very similar, though.
Okay. I guess I'm going to... Well, let's see. Did Felicia get someone down, or was she interrupted?
She has gotten Brog down, and when she was interrupted, had Ben's about halfway down. But you can tell, like, this is a lot for her to do. These things are fucking heavy. And then at the same time, she had to grab you.
All right, I'm going to help her get Vens down.
Okay, you're able to get Vince down, and that gives the mother a chance to rush it duo. Nando, you look down and you've got a bloody nose. Like, you're not sure why, but you just feel like this thing is just pulling at you.
I'm gonna fucking space cookie. Nando is.
You see, I got a space cootie.
Said space cookie.
Oh, you said space. I got space cooties. I was like,
he
oh,
probably
really?
does.
Yeah, he probably do.
He probably does, but it's benign. It's treated. Nando, I think, will see what's happening below him, because the mother and duo are kind of below where Nando is. Is that right?
No, you're all on the same floor now.
Can Nando, like, I think Nando's going to force jump up to the light ability he's probably able to do, to, like, I think he wants to, like, grab the bottom of one of the cages, you know,
The
sort
cages
of like,
are both down now.
Oh, there aren't any other cages hanging.
Well, there are empty ones if you want to try to get to one.
Yeah, he's just trying to get position. So
Okay, yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I think he jumps.
Why don't
and
you make
grabs
it
it.
cool with one disadvantage, which is just with one of your two dice, you roll disadvantage. You just take the lower on it. So roll one regular dice out of your two, and then roll the other one. Roll two dice and take the lower number.
Wait, what?
What? So you have two dice roll, right? Two 6-siders.
Yeah.
Roll one 6-sider like you normally would,
Okay.
and then roll your second 6-sider twice and take the lower number.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Go for the wall sconce.
It's 7.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I rolled 7 plus 9. It's 9.
9. You are able to grab one and pull yourself up, and as you do, you realize that that's causing the one that that Brog is to go back up.
Okay. That's
So that's pulling you down, and he's going back.
So
Is
Nando,
Brog a female or a male? I don't think we ever said. We're just non-binary.
I think we decided that Brog was
Brog.
Brog is Brog. Yeah, I don't think we did. I think
your crew. So what do you think?
I think that Nando was, or not Nando, Jesus. Brog was like born male, but is like, I'm a fucking Wookiee, you know, like I don't see gender, you know. I think Brog is non-binary, but like was born male. If that makes sense. And
Perfect. Thank you for specifying.
So Nando's only going to be on there for a second, because basically his goal is to like jump up, grab one of these things, and then he wants to like jump onto the mother's back and like, you know, kind of like
Hug her.
Cover
I want to give her a hug.
Just screw her up for a minute, so like Duo can
make me another cool.
Okay.
And Duo, what are you doing while this is happening? She's like marching right at you. Breeb, you're standing there, and Brog was down, and then Brog was up, and you're like, what is he doing? And Nando like jumps and grabs the cage. Duo, I'm assuming you're not paying any attention to this, because this is like mono ibado.
I'm focusing on Mother.
Yeah,
that has my complete and utter attention.
You can literally feel you aging as she de-ages.
I think the second I see Nando do the,
we'll see. Nando, what'd you roll?
I rolled 10.
Okay, because if Nando rolled like a 6, he would have just fallen on the floor behind her and splatted. Like, oh god, oh my hip, which might have distracted her. She'd be like,
from the rafters, you hear fall.
So Nando like falls onto this old Rakatan woman from like a story and a half and just like mobs onto her, and she doesn't go down. She instead, like, you hit Hernando and you realize, oh, there's a whole lot of metal inside this body. I have hurt myself. Oh no, like I think I really hurt myself. But you like grip onto her and she like realized like, oh shit, she's trying to get you off. Even to the point where she raises back her blade. Duo, now is your moment. What would you like to do?
Well, I feel like Nando has a real
handle on the situation.
a real good handle on what he would like me to do or what he was setting me up to do. And so what I'd really like to do is I'd like to make a $10 donation. I'd like you to allow Nando to tell me how we tag team
Back
and take
again?
this lady out. Yes.
So you and Ryan are tag teaming an old lady? Sure.
Goddamn right.
It's her charity.
May the force be with us.
Wu Tang, Wu Tang, Wu Tang.
Yeah. I
This
feel like
this is why I feel bad we missed last month. This is the shit I'm talking about.
oh yes.
Okay, this is what I want. This is the stupid thing that I want to happen. I want Duo to like sort of like lightly Darth Maul her, and then but like Nando like falls forward and like sunset flips
Pin attempt.
and then
One, two. Oh, she gets her shoulder up.
And then like because there's all these like blades, there's all these blades sticking out of her, they just like force their way through when she hits the
Oh. So yeah, you literally cut her, bisect her, the sideways. I don't know. It wouldn't be. Sorry, I'm like
still bisecting. It's
I'm
just...
Catholically doing a Catholic blessing with a Star Wars. You cut her in half at the waist. She falls on all the flechettes, and she rolls over, and she's like, "Ow, ow." And she puts her hands down on the ground and starts to try to raise up. Her legs are down on the ground and are slowly, like one leg is pushing, the metal leg is pushing towards her body.
and there's also laying on the ground.
Her vibro blade?
Yeah, Nando's laying on the ground going, what the fuck?
Her vibro
Like
blade?
it's the thing in the scene, that scene in the Thing where they see the head get up and crawl away. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Duo is going to reach out with the force to her vibro blade, and then
you touch that blade and your hand burns. Like you are like your hand actually, like if you're gonna hold on to this, you're gonna take damage and it's gonna be significant.
Am I feeling like that is something external or something force based?
Both.
Well then I'll drop it. Like
she's coughing up blood and she looks and she just says, I knew you were too weak. She's like just black blood is like spilling out of her mouth. And she's like, it's going to take more. As you said here, you fools, I grow stronger second by. And her lower body starts to pull towards you. Slice her and she just starts to pull back together. Plot point from the second episode incoming.
Did we get Vens down from the
my dude?
Oh, Nate knows what it is. Nate's already said it. Vens is down with a spear in her side, like all the way through. She puts her hand out.
I hand her the blade.
She takes it and she literally limps over, like the spear end dragging on the stone. Her eyes are almost orange. She drags over there. You guys get Brog back onto the walkway. You don't see her, Duo. You hear her coming, coughing sputtering, and you can hear the end of that spear clicking against the stone. You turn around and you see her eyes. She looks down and the mother looks up, and maybe for the first time this whole time, the mother recognizes this sword and looks fucking afraid. And you see her try to lift the sword up, and she's so hurt she can't. And she just looks at you with this look of like, help me.
Do I intuit how I can do that?
Like, she just wants you to help grab her hand and like kill this thing.
Absolutely.
You reach down, you interlace your fingers and her fingers over this black blade from the duelist. You reach up in one synchronized words are hard, and come slashing down, and you see right before the blade takes the head off of the mother, a realization that millennia of work, millennia of time has all of a sudden come to an end. And she turns to goo. Slurp perfectly. And then Vence falls.
I'm going to pick Vence up, and we're going to get the F out of here.
You hear the roar of ships outside. And you hear heavy blaster fire from an aerial assault on the front of the temple.
Sick. I hope they're on our team.
Let's get to the roof.
And that's when you hear Nub on the comm link say, hey, Nando, I think the rest of the Gree are here.
Cool. Great. So we found Brog, so that's fun. Also, ow, I think my ribs are broken or something, and maybe
You pretty sure you probably dislocated your shoulder. You probably got some broken ribs. You're like, I'm in a lot of discomfort. Hopefully you have some of those drugs left for me.
Yeah.
Remember, those are my drugs.
They're my drugs. We're coming. On our way. Trying.
You guys make your way out and watch as the Gree just pepper this area and leave no get in the open alive. One of the ships lands, and it is Captain Maurice Taggart. Gets out on all of his squiddy legs. And he uses a comm link and says something in Gree, and a larger ship makes a drop from the upper atmosphere. Man, Nando, this ship looks real familiar. And they load all of you onto this larger vessel. Think about the size of a Mandalorian cruiser. I can't think what those are called. With
Gauntlet?
like with the ones that carry like an assault company. And there's a med bay on this. It's not like what you're used to, but it's the best med bay you've seen since you've been in the unknown regions.
Like that.
I can use that.
And you all spend a week to 2 weeks up on New Ahasa, which is the Gree space station, in recovery and isolated from one another. After 2 weeks of being treated very well, you're all together in a ready room when Taggart comes in. As I'm sure you have some questions for me. And Felicia walks right up and punches him right in the mouth. The other Gree in the room pull their guns, but don't fire. This is fair enough.
Damn again, Felicia.
Hmm.
She sits back down. She's like, we could have gone home. He says, not quite. While we took parts from your ships, we could not retrofit them enough. Could not backwards engineer them enough for your hyperdrives. We're sorry. The Gree Protectorate apologizes. We understand that you are in the middle of an affair planet-side, and we're sensitive to that matter, and will provide you any and all assistance possible. We found something in the system that we think you might be interested in, because we are very interested in it. And they pull up combat footage of a moon in the system that they've named Tay. I take it back. I messed up. One of the moons of Shugo is a moon named Tay. And they say, what we're showing you can never be spoken of outside this room. And on the dark side of Tay is a massive Gree base. And you see ships based upon the design of the Brazier. The Brazier? I keep wanting to say Brazier. The Brazier, as well as that Thetis shuttle that Jarek had, that now you guys had. But they also say, don't worry, we didn't borrow that. We already had the designs. We found something. And then they give you kind of one of my favorite things in Star Wars, one of those holographic views of the sector. And they show a planet on the very outskirts of the sector. And they show scenes of a base that had flags hanging in it that you do not recognize. But they're like torn down and the place is kind of on fire when you see it. I'll tell you what. I'll let you guys tell me whether you know this symbol or not. How about that? Would your characters know this symbol?
Are you sharing it with us?
I'm going to share it with you.
Ooh, lar.
Maybe if I can. Stop laughing at me, Nick. I want to show it to you without giving away what it is. So don't read the bottom part. Just look at the picture. Just look at the pretty picture.
Okay. You could just right click and open up a...
That's what you see. Would you know what that is? I'm guessing no.
I believe that I would know what that is. But
Really? I want you to explain after. I want you to come up with a reason for the next episode why you would know what that is.
okay.
Because I don't say you don't, but I would love an answer. So you see that in Duo, you kind of, your eyes get kind of bigger and you're like, oh. And you see these troops engaging in firefights with the Gree. They look like tall, broad-shouldered humanoids, no nose, just two slits. They're grayish skin, and they've got like no hair, just kind of like indentations across the tops of their heads. Some of them are wearing armor, some are not. And basically what Taggart tells you is we entered the system and we just saw this vessel. We came with a full flight company. They did not catch us on their sensors. Seeing as they were just finishing a orbital bombardment. We decimated their vessel before it could release any sort of beacons for help. We then made a ground assault. We took heavy losses. Our enemies were far more competent in hand-to-hand combat, as well as hull to hull short-range fighting than we were. We sent over 100 Grey troops in and came back with 15. But we were the wiper enemies who we caught chatter over their comms refer to themselves as the Grisk. And they referred to this as a Chiss Ascendancy long-range listening station. We do not know who these people are, either of them. But we have collected a vast amount of data. We do not know if you would know who they are. The concern is this. Flips over to another station. And it shows a ship very similar to the one they blew up entering the system. I believe the Grisk have come looking for what happened to their raiding party. They cannot be allowed to find this place. Neither can the Chiss, whoever they may be. We do not have the capability of leaving the system. And since we do not think they are aware of the Gree, we're asking you to deal with the Grisk. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Woo!
Oh, that was a good one.
That was fun.
Boys and squirrels. That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I'm really curious. Just tell me, James, how would Duo know what that is?
I was thinking, well, I mean, I don't know what canon we're dealing with, but I was thinking that since we were charged in kind of like going out to this place, I was thinking that we would have other information from like Outbound Flight, the book that Timothy Zahn did, but I think that that's Legends now.
Well, you gotta remember, the only information you would have is on that ship, and it would be stuff that Jarek had. And
Okay.
at no point did you guys like go, hey, I want to look through all that stuff.
Okay.
So there might be information on that vessel.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that. I was like, when you're like, I think you're like, oh, and I was like, did Duo do something before and have like a weird run-in with the Chiss on the edge of the galaxy? Because that, I mean, hey, if you want to tell that story, I am all in on that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm still trying to figure out kind of like what we did prior to this and what we,
during the Clone Wars, we established you all were on the station, which its name escapes me, and you basically did diplomatic missions until towards the very end of the war, when you started doing more active combat stuff, and then Order 66 happened.
Yeah.
So, but then again, like I said, also Nando, you all have been out here. You all were out here for a good 8 years before you crashed. So if there's things where you're like, and this is the thing I want to make sure that I give you guys the opportunity as players. If there's things in Star Wars lore where you're like, I know what that is. Like I know my character knows what that is. By all means, like the Brog situation. I want you guys to feel free to paint with a wide brush on stuff like that. So, all right. What was a good one? Let's where can people find you, beautiful souls?
This is a Ben game, so we're going reverse, or we're going clockwise.
It feels so much better.
Warriors always last. So just remember that.
So good.
Yeah.
Feels right.
Well, usually Nate's always first in my game, so it's confusing to me either way we shake it. Hey, I'm Beard. You can find me on Blue Sky.
Hey, girl.
Shutting down shutting down my Twitter, I think that will also mean that Heel Turn and Known World United are probably going to also leave Twitter.
Fuck
Blue
Twitter.
Skies. So that'll be happening over the next little bit. I may also be leaving other services. I just need to not be there. So anyway,
Are you leaving a certain book full of faces that Ryan and I left?
I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to keep in contact with some of my family, but I think I'm going to explore options available to me. But
I will say this:
stuff.
I kept Messenger for that reason.
Yeah.
And that's worked fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did when I shut down all the wrestling stuff and kept Messenger. So anyway, you can find me on Blue Sky. For right now, you can find me on Instagram at Up Your Architecture, and you can find me here monthly and maybe more often. We'll see what's shaking. I've had a really great time during Known World doing the time quangle, and would love. I have talked for years about doing an Exiles style thing through the my corners of the Known World and Extra Life. So perhaps that. I've also thought about something to get me through the next 4 years, and that might be a monthly Christmas themed adventure.
I still want to do Heel Turn, HEAL. I still would like us to do I Have a Bad Feeling About Boldly Going.
Yeah.
Which is us watching Deep Space Nine and Clone Wars from the beginning. I think I'm in love with that idea just because of the name we came up with. There's stuff I want to do. So as always, if you guys have stuff you want to do or things you want us to do, feel free to reach out. I know I mentioned about Heel Turn and people lost their shit.
Yeah.
So
that's where you can find me.
All right, you can find me on the socials at Cubicle Zombie. Sometimes I post the thing. You can find me here every second Monday for the Star Wars. We'll see what else happens.
I have an opening for next Monday. At least one opening. I could be convinced to have more. And I will tell you, next Monday, Ryan is the one I've been promising for 2 months. And it is going to be buck wild.
I mean, hell yeah.
If you all like mushrooms, if you all like weird face stuff, if you all like jamborees.
Did you say face stuff or face stuff?
Yep.
Faye.
Oh, okay.
F-A-E.
Yes.
If you all like practical jokes that have gone way too far, Monday will be a wild ride. Also, if you like the band Clutch, it's basically I've just stolen from them.
Hi, I'm Warrior. You can find me on Blue Sky at Warrior. And I'm also on TikTok at Warrior MN. So you can find me there if you want. Yeah, I'll be here on Monday for Chaos Scar. Our old pal Tiburon is gonna maybe some things have happened.
Awesome.
Maybe it's fun.
Fine meats.
I do have time this week, Ryan, Sunday, if you want to wink, wink, say no more, say no more.
Sorry, what?
If you want to wink, wink, say no more, say no more.
I did. There was literally like a loud siren going by.
If you would like to wink, wink, say no more, say no more.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay. Let me know what works for you. We can get that single person session in. Just
Okay.
so you'll know, like, oh, this is the shit that went down. Wow. While everyone else is doing their stuff for the 2 months I spend my 2 months in the Feywild. Meanwhile.
Now, what if he wants to say no more, Mona more?
Oh, what if well, God damn it, I can't remember the song all of a sudden. My fucking CTE is so bad the last month. Because I had the Billy Idol song stuck in my head, but it's smushed with the Whitesnake song, so now I can't get them unentwined. So in my brain, it's like in the heat of the night, I hear the wolf cry, but I wanted she cries mo mo mo, but I can't get those two songs to be unpulled. I need to unpulled. I need them pulled apart. I'm very upset about this. Special Wednesday night, Mang, because Colin got work. And then I might bet at Games Friday. I don't know. We'll see. I did good last week, so maybe I will. And then Sunday is prep school, and we are going to talk about the things that Matt enjoyed about Mountain Monsters and about the DC game, because all people involved in those two games have been like, hey, when are we doing that again? We're going to talk about how I turned Mountain Monsters into an absolute fucking horror show the last 45 minutes. And we're going to talk about how we can pull the DC game a little bit further back away from the brink of complete meta-contextualization, while still keeping it as wild as it was. Yes. There you go, Super Spike. And I wanted me to do the creepy lady laugh. So coming out, if you are interested in either of those two games, and I will say both were a hoot. So if you want to be part of a hillbilly cryptid investigation team that has realized that the monsters are real, or a part of the TV crew that films their shitty reality show and is now just finding out that the monsters are real, get in now to the Mountain Monsters, to our, instead of us calling it the Ames team, which is what they call themselves, we're calling it the Amesless team. And also I think we named our show something like Holler Horrors. Yes, it was Holler Horrors is the show. And if you would like to play in a DC game that is just fucking buck wild, I mean, one of the characters turned out to be oh my god, why brain? Chuck Tingle. Love is love. Then it was wild. Let me know, because those I've made a deal with those players. They can play anytime they want. It's going to be very similar to Chaos Scar. They get to choose which version of themselves they want to play throughout the multiverse, or the omniverse, but new players will have to solidify on a character. So if you're interested, let us know. I think we'll start doing some of those on the first Mondays of the month, because I can do this kind of one-shotty. And boy, they were something else. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in, even to those who ran away when they found out what kind of Star Wars it was going to be. Thank you to everyone who stuck around. Why? But especially thank you to Colin, we miss you. But thank you to you three, because without your insane sense of humor, adventure, and just being who you are, this would be not fun. So have a good remainder of your week until one of us sees you again. And remember, bomb us to all, and to all, get bomb us.